Hello and welcome back to the SML podcast. This is Field Journal 007, playing the field with Field Journal 007 here on the SML podcast. Hey guys, it's been a while. How you doing? Today's video, we're going to do a rundown on a few of my thoughts on what's going around the SML. As you probably and should know, this is the final Madden 17 season of the SML. We're moving on. We're doing big things in a big way. There's one unbeaten team left. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the big upset of the week. We're going to talk about a few programs that have coming out to the YouTube channel. So stay tuned and let's find out. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about here is the Colts' unbeaten season. The Colts are 10-0 right now. Primetime 000 has guided his team to the number 2 offense in terms of points. Everywhere else, they're kind of meh. They're number 1 defense in all categories. Points, 9 points a game. First in yards with 178 yards a game. First in passing yards, 136 yards a game. And first in rushing yards with 42 yards a game. The Colts are getting it done with quarterback Jeff Driscoll. He's been manageable. Finley's having a good game with 738 yards. Odell Beckham is leading all receivers on the Colts with 822 yards. The Colts have the top 2 interception leaders in the league with Lamar Lewis and TJ Green. Big things, 11 interceptions, 9 interceptions there. The Colts will cause turnovers in a big way. Okay, the Colts have 6 games remaining. Where could they lose, or will they go undefeated? The Colts have a game against the Eagles. I predict that as a win. They have a game against K-Dot Marks, the Chargers. I think that could be a game for a bit, but I just think the Colts defense is too much. The Colts have beaten the Chiefs so many times now. They've beaten the Jaguars, they've beaten the Texans, and I don't see them having an issue beating the Broncos. As the team that has the most wins right now on the Colts' main schedule is the Chargers at 8-1. There's only 2 teams that have a winning record, that being the Eagles and Chargers. The Jags, Texans, and Broncos are all well below 500 at this point in time. My bold prediction of the day is the Colts finish undefeated and at 16-0 going into the playoffs. They will be the number 1 seed. They are the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Chargers are the number 2 seed. It just seems like things are a little wacky right now at the AFC side for the SML because you have the Colts and Chargers. The Dolphins 7-3. The Bengals are the AFC North, or you could go Steelers. They're both 5-5 right now. And your 2 wild card teams would be the Bills and the Jets if the playoffs were today. The NFC side of things, the Panthers and myself, the Seahawks, are your number 1 and number 2 seed. I just knocked off the Panthers in a big upset game. He didn't have his usual big game against me. He had 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. The first interception was a great break on the user side. I mean, I just went ahead and the defense just broke well on the ball. We made a great interception on that, and I know I didn't blow him out, but still just to win the game in that environment and to go into Carolina and get the 23-17 win in overtime, and then hitting the streak. Russell Wilson, I've been really hard on him in the quarterback room, talking about his lack of arm strength, his lack of big play ability. He's just been a game manager, but he showed you he could still get it done. Earlier in the game, he somehow, I don't know if I was late. I must have been late throwing the ball because I had a streak earlier to Cooks, and it was batted away. This one was a press coverage on the final play of the game in overtime. Cooks runs by the defender, and we get a streak for the touchdown in overtime. There will be a full condensed version of this game available on the SML YouTube channel here on this channel, so be sure to subscribe so we can stay up to date for that, as well as the other classic game I had not too long ago against the Raiders. I don't know if that's going to be a full game. It takes a while to cut all the highlights and condense everything down. It takes about an hour or 2 to do each game, but I'd like to have both of those available on the channel. They were both great games. I'd like people to be able to watch those games. So stay tuned for that. We plan on having some more SML replay or SML classics, however you want to say it. I think they're both great games, and I think it'd be something you guys would enjoy. On the NFC side of things, we have, like I said, the Seahawks and the Panthers number 1, number 2 seed, the Cowboys number 3, and as things sit right now, Detroit is the number 4 seed and the division leading NFC North leader. Number 5, the 5th seed, is the Falcons at 9-1. They may actually be the number 2 seed, so it's kind of a toss-up between the Panthers and the Falcons. I would say right now, due to the record being 9-1, the Panthers being 8-2, that if the Falcons win out, they will win the NFC South, and Jonesy would be at a wild card disadvantage this time, having to play that extra playoff game. I don't like playing the extra playoff game. I'd much rather have the bye. That's why I'm trying to get, win out in my right, that I can not only get the bye week, but secure the #1 seed and have all the games go through Seattle. I don't care what people say. I like the fact that the games would go through Seattle, and that's kind of what my goal is right now, is to win the games and just show people that we can get it done. I guess a few other topics we could cover here are MVP. I think that it's really not that great of a race right now for MVP. If you look at it, you would almost have to give it to a running back or a wide receiver. The Carolina Panthers, Bo Tucker, or I think he's 9 or 10 games in. He's got 1,243 yards and 19 touchdowns rushing. Christian Bussey, a wide receiver, 999 yards, 10 touchdowns. I think that if I had to give the MVP to anyone in the SML right now, it'd have to be Bo Tucker. The quarterback play is just not, it's not there. No one's really putting out anything great at this point in the season. So I think the SML MVP will probably be Bo Tucker. Also, a couple honorable mentions are Braxton James, running back with 1,177 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns, and the Cowboys' Ezekiel Elliott. He's had an impressive season with 1,109 yards rushing and 13 rushing touchdowns so far. And Braxton James is the running back for the Bengals. A lot of great talent here in the SML. Keep getting your games in. It's going to be a tough competition to stay in this league for the next Madden cycle. We have a few guys on the waiting list, and when it comes down to it, Prime and I have to get together and decide who stays and who gets a rose and who doesn't, if this was The Bachelor. So who's going to stay with the league and who's not. Stay tuned for that. We will find out in the coming weeks after this game has come to its conclusion, or this Madden cycle has come to its conclusion. We'll have to decide who's going to carry on with us, who's going to carry the torch in the next version of Madden football. So stay tuned for all of that. If you enjoyed this video, hit it with a thumbs up. Comment below what you think. If the Colts will be undefeated, who's going to win the AFC, who's going to win the NFC, who's going to win the Super Bowl. I am predicting a Colts-Falcons Super Bowl. I can see that coming. I could definitely see. Regardless, I see the Colts in the Super Bowl. I see the Colts winning the Super Bowl. Let me know who you think's gonna win the SML Super Bowl this year. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We only have 10 or 11 subscribers on this channel, but somehow most of you view these videos, so don't be lazy. Hit that subscribe button. Other than that, you guys have a great day.